After two excellent games from Polt, we are amazingly at match point in the King of the Beta Finals. Right now, Polt leads the series 2-0 against Western Wolves' Morrow. Can Morrow find the defense he needs with Mech to hang in there? In the top left corner, the selector of the map, Akalon, wastes. It is Western Wolves' Morrow against the teamless and essentially peerless Polt, who's been just destroying faces left and right. And of course, Morrow, despite being down 0-2, comes right out the gates with a good game, good luck. Polt saying good luck, have fun. A cold bite on the words have fun. Difficult to do that when you're in the face of the terrifying drops that Polt's been hurling away non-stop. Now on this map, I do think that Mech has a distinct, nice setup to it. Sure, the natural expansion is a little bit open at the front, but that's easily secured. It's this natural that's nice for the Terran player who's going for Mech. This is very easy to lock down, walling off with depots, tank behind. Turrets can ring this backside, reinforce along the top. And most importantly, you can simply rally to the front, or even rally here as you're taking up your fourth base to be able to defend 4 bases at once. Marine Marauder Medevac will have to rely on the exact opposite, trying to find vulnerabilities here against the meching player, float in, keep him back, and it's once the Marine Maraudering player begins taking these outer 5th and 6th bases that we can really see that divergence happen. Polt is not going to be going for the fast gas. It's going to be Morrow, the one who's building his early refinery. And knowing Morrow, he's likely going to go Fast Reaper, expand, double Hellion production, 3rd command center, 2 extra factories to begin going tanks and... actually, well, tanks and more tanks. But Polt looks like he's going for the more traditional 1 barracks expand. You know, in a situation like this, I do feel that Morrow's predictability is going to be hurting him a little bit. I mean, given that this is the 3rd game that I've watched him play Terran vs. Terran recently, and it's already so clear what he's going to do. I mean, a lot of times I like to use the word, or like to use language of generally, typically, in this spot we usually see, because everything in StarCraft is not absolute. It's all sort of probabilistic under the hood, but Morrow is a very robotic Swedish player. It looks like he will absolutely be throwing down the very early 3rd command center. We see that the SCV is already down there. Polt, interestingly, going for the double geyser. Polt, in a lot of circumstances, we see throw down a huge pack of extra barracks. Wait, wow, he's going for double refinery and then double factory. This is looking a lot like a 2 barracks tank Viking follow-up. I mean, in essence, you think about what do most mid-game Terrans like Polt want to go for? Marines, tanks, medevacs. Those are the 3 pieces. So which ones do you add on first? In what order do you add those on? Polt is essentially saying, well, I'm going to begin getting the tanks right away. I get a Viking to deal with Banshees. I have some Marines to be some extra reinforcement. And then, over time, I'll round that out by adding on some more barracks. Getting more tech labs. That sort of thing. Here's the factory popping down right now. Here's the barracks beginning to get a couple more add-ons. Very tank-heavy mid-game incoming for Polt. Not an aggressive play. Very, very defensive play. Polt may very well even just take this as a 3rd if he's up against a meching player. Put tanks up on this high ground ridge. Not even worry about this for a little bit. Stim is going down. Very quickly seeing that all the gas is being spent. Ordinarily, you actually can't get this stim out. You need to save that 100 gas to be able to get the siege mode out, but Polt doesn't have to worry about that. He can tech lab, throw down a starport, and have plenty of gas to begin his tank production. Kind of some cool new build order action coming up out of Polt. Yeah, look at this nice timing. I'm just going to admire this because, honestly, Morrow, like clockwork, going Hellion, not yet getting his extra gas geyser, getting his 3rd command center. And there's the scan from Polt, spots all the key structures. There's the 2 factories going down. But the 2 factories, interestingly, are popping down before the starport this time. Single deviation from Morrow. Gosh, yeah, the 100 minerals that you just don't have to spend on the siege mode is just all popping up again and again and again and again. Looking really comfortable for Polt. Come on, D. There it is. Finally, once the medevac begins, the extra refineries go down. The one missing piece to the puzzle is the engineering bay. Forgive my squeaky chair, the WD-40. Gonna be needed to be lathered on in full. The tension is rising in my room as it is potentially the last game. And that tension is exactly what you hear in the squeaky hinges of this chair. Don't really like a lot of the Reaper scouting, just due to the fact that it's easily thwarted. Especially with the siege tank there. Polt stepping into action right away. This is a timing that did not previously exist. Polt setting himself up to be very defensive, but because he has that extra 100 gas saved, he doesn't actually have to get siege mode upgrade. He can spend it on a fast stem, and now these medevac drops are going to be coming a lot faster thanks to emergency thrusters. You can get out a lot faster. Can deal damage a lot faster with this stem. Oh, how's he going to pull this one off? Polt immediately trying to get Morrow to be out of position. OOP. Looks like a couple of these SCVs from Morrow going to be pulled off. No Marines in sight. Wow. Polt instantly finding yet another weakness in Morrow's defense. Morrow sprints into action with Marines falling left and right. SCVs getting engaged as well, but a few end up getting picked off. SCV lead still goes to Morrow at 40, as there is only just now the 3rd command center starting, but Polt has the money mix, 2 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, producing medevacs a little bit at a time, not getting too much gas, soon to be getting the +1 range attack upgrade so we can get that Marine Marauder medevac kicking into high gear. Morrow still has virtually 0 map control. Steps in, sees what's up. Armory, quite late. No Hellbats can really engage, but Morrow now starting to exploit how easy this 3rd base is for a mech player to defend. Polt, per usual, delaying the upgrades, trying to get as forward as he can. This is a defensive build. Not designed to do a ton of early pushing, and yet Polt finds a way. He's identified that he has that tank lead, using the speed boost on the medevacs to scout forward, get his tanks into better positions. Now would be an opportune time to back up, but will Polt do it? I mean, let's be honest, if we've been attacking when we technically shouldn't be, why stop? There's the 1-1 upgrades getting started now for Polt at the 11-minute mark. Many Terrans like Bomber would have 2-2 finished at the 14-minute mark, so this gives you a sense of how much Polt delays those. Morrow trying to step in, has a nice mixture of Hellions at the front, not Hellbats, just regular good old-fashioned Hellions to absorb those hits. Morrow lands the Vikings to finish up the tank. And Morrow looks poised to get himself a solid 3rd base. All the key structures are done, 3 factories, a starport, 2 reactors, 2 tech labs. And we're starting to see the same mix out of Polt. There's these building points that you'll see, well, all players, but especially Polt, converge to. He sees his opponents going mech, 5 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. And then later on the line, you'll see him add on 1 more factory and 3 more barracks. So he has 8 barracks, 2 factories. Very common, very exact numbers. Morrow likewise opens up with these 3 factories, 1 starport, and then adds on 2 more factories. Those 2 will get the Tech Lab add-on to maintain as passive and solid a mixture as possible. Well, here comes Polt. He's starting to add on the 1 factory. 2 to 3 more barracks to come. In this position, where do the big edges lie? What are the players looking for? Fourth base is very straightforward to hold. This watchtower, also very straightforward for Morrow to hold. The big watchtowers then are this southern one and the two eastern ones for Polt. He can and should maintain stranglehold over those. There's the two more barracks coming down now for Polt. God, so many Marauders being produced. 2-2 upgrades haven't even been started yet from Polt. He's just macroing like a madman. Here's the hold on that watchtower we were talking about, and the soon-to-be fourth base, Morrow, just doesn't want to step forward until he's starting to get more maxed. And Morrow has a distinct style. He takes this, he begins to slowly trundle forward with this watchtower, and then eventually takes this as a fifth, even planting planetary fortresses here, and then snakes around here for a sixth. Occasionally we'll make the push attempt to this region. Now Polt, on the other hand, sweeping up. Just trying to find any weakness that he can. It looks like he's going to start opening these rocks up. Marauders are like Zerglings in Mech versus Bio. He's going to take it out and can now say safely, alright, anytime Terran starts going for fourth, even a fifth base, I'm going to begin counterattacking. Looks like that Transformation Servos upgrade coming up. Those Hellions are about to become a lot more useful. We're seeing an interesting lack of command centers out of Morrow. Ordinarily, he gets those command centers up so fast, but, I mean, if you see your opponent going Bio and being as aggressive with Bio as Polt is, I don't blame Morrow for saying, alright, you know what? Stop spending money on CCs and start getting units. This I love. This is just ultra solid medevac dropship defense. I mean, it's starting to look more and more like turrets are just not that solid against these medevac drops. I mean, Polt is able to just pick Morrow apart. Last two games were actually 15 minutes long. This is as long as Morrow's ever lived against Polt. But I mean, the Widow Mines are starting to really look like a big key. Popping up, one-shotting. Alright, drop coming up from Polt. Not an essential drop. Just trying to find some weakness, but this top flank looks very, very open. And there's Polt. He's gonna waltz right into everything, and right as the speed upgrade runs out, oh my god! As amazingly as these drops have been going for Polt in the past, I mean, that was as bad as one has ever gone. Good chunk of SCVs getting killed off, but about to be a good chunk of Marine Marauder getting killed off. Pick off the turrets, pick off the sensor towers, but given that Morrow is meching, Morrow has plenty of money left over to be able to rebuild these turrets, rebuild the Marines, Planetary Fortress being morphed in for an extra line of defense. +2 armor. +2 vehicle weapons, interestingly not being researched. 2-1 upgrades done, and Terran Front 2-2 upgrades done. 3-3 coming up. Not quite yet. Medevac Marine tank, more command centers going down. You know, these Hellions could begin being a threat, but are unlikely to. What Polt really needs to do is just maintain control of this watchtower and these two up here. The fifth base is the real key. On most maps, you know, map like Cloud Kingdom, you can lock down your Terran opponent onto 4 bases pretty... Excuse me, 3 bases pretty straightforwardly. 4 on Aklon Flats is what you have to do. 3 is a little bit too hard to lock him down to that because this left base is so easy to take, and this north base is so easy to take. So, Morrow's beginning to snake his way around like this. He'll be able to set himself up another expansion here. Siege tank moving up to the watchtower. And of course Polt going, oh, well if you're going that way, then I'm just going to go the other way. This might seem risky. Minerals, no need for it for Polt right now. Only once he starts losing that army. Morrow's looking completely impregnable in this spot. A lot of more tanks are going to get killed off. I mean, what else can you really do as Polt? Wow, 3 starports going down from Morrow. He might be adding on, what, battle cruisers in this position? A couple Banshees can't hurt to be able to pick off those front lines. Starport's also being added on for Polt. If we saw Battlecruiser versus Battlecruiser, that would be an amazing game. It'd be such a sweet way for Morrow to begin pulling a comeback, and it looks like, whoa, in a twist of mech versus bio, it's now the mech player deciding to engage this tank force. How do Hellbats do against tanks? Let's be honest, they do great. But another attempted drop from Polt at the left side, another attempted drop from Polt at the north side, but for the first time this game, Morrow is taking a commanding supply lead, and it's Polt who seems to be behind in the supply tab. But mech is just so damn slow and unwieldy. We're seeing that Morrow's having a difficult time getting into all these places at once. Hellbats trying their best. Bottom left does die. But in the midst of all this, Polt secured himself 2 more bases. Hellbats trying to get in there, deal more damage. Orbital's in the middle. Orbital down south. There's actually not even any planetary fortresses. I mean, Polt is just saying, yeah, I got this. No problem. Not worried at all. 188 supply Morrow. 168 supply Polt. Morrow's looking better and better. And it's interesting to note that basically there's this little hump that Morrow's trying to get over. If Morrow can stay alive from around 15 to 20, then Morrow has all the momentum in the world. Ooh, Ravens being produced 3 at a time. Ravens! We saw these, the trademark unit that allowed Morrow to roll over Cats. Despite everything that Cats was throwing at him, I mean, Seeker missiles could be huge. Corvid Reactor also coming up to give those Ravens a little bit of extra energy. Polt's just going to have to hurl as much units as possible at this problem. Fusion core going down. Does everyone have their dancing hands ready? I'm not sure these Ravens will really be enough. Morrow's starting to kill off some of his own units, SCVs in particular. So that way he can rely on just mules and have that supply freed for more Ravens, more essential stuffs. Right now, Polt just has way too many bases along the map right now. It's 6 versus 4. And, you know, I was even talking about this in a daily earlier on, that people just generally don't attack. Most of the time in a game of StarCraft, people are not attacking. You can get away with expanding far more easily than you might have imagined. I mean, this is just a perfect example. Polt, wow, having 6 bases. And then what really can Morrow do about it? Another attempted drop on just a killing zone. Polt is going to lose almost everything here. He's going to try to keep some of these Marine Marauders alive, but I mean, there's yet another ring. Wow, Polt still finds a way to wiggle those Marauders around to deal some damage. Vikings come in. Seeker missile? No, planetary. Point defense drone. A solid composition. Anything that begins with P, throw it at the problem until it's fixed, until it's perfect. So right now, Polt's starting to go, oh, okay, you're taking your 5th base. Where's the vulnerability? I anticipate that Polt will begin getting into an angle where he can begin exploiting this. The drop plays are starting to ramp up. He might even just blast the north. Continue dropping as much as possible until this looks really weak. I mean, we're seeing Polt just scan again and again and again and move out. More Marine Marauder moving up through center mid. Morrow still relying heavily on Ravens. 11 Ravens right now. Oh gosh, all those sorts of human-y bits. Raven missile didn't nail it. And here comes Morrow. Uh-oh, there's the speed boost, and oh, he can actually sneak all the way along the top of the map. But this basically pot commits Polt. He's gonna have to deal all the damage because he is never going home. Seeker missiles obliterate that. Oh my god, everything being brought down to almost 0 life. In the midst of all this, Polt does not look like he's doing aggression at any other location on the map. Trying to take out the armories, does it really matter? Things are at 3-3. Ravens continue to deal damage. Nice micro there from Polt, trying to send out the weakened units. Really slick play. Every time Polt does one of these drops, he gets just a little bit more damage in. And I'm fusion core dancing. I don't know about you. 3 battle cruisers en route, 2 battle cruisers. Polt continuing to get that upgrade and expand lead. This bottom expansion has basically been unscouted, unassaulted, just completely left alone. This point in time, this Corvid reactor also coming up for Polt. I mean, a lot of it comes down to who launches the Seeker missiles first. The Raven count is getting really high for Morrow. Even something like a battle cruiser, quite susceptible to enough point defense drones, especially in the face of a good pack of Vikings. Polt's largely turtled himself up. No attempt by Morrow to attack yet. There's the... Oh, yeah! Everybody party time. Oh, yes. Gosh, I mean... Polt still overall holding control of the matchup, as we see in his mineral tab, 7,000 minerals. In the units lost tab, we see Polt still behind by a lot. But that's fine, because Morrow has not been expanding a lot. Morrow's trying to stay low on bases, efficient on units. Polt's trying to just get as much money as possible and blast him with whatever units are available, whatever units are easiest to build. Well, looks like Morrow instantly going to begin throwing down some Seeker missiles. Somehow doesn't really kill much of anything. But, of course, free units, essentially. I mean, Morrow's just getting the way better end of this deal. Tanks versus tanks. Tanks win. Any drops going on anywhere else for Polt? No, he is completely dedicated to the south side attack. Seeker missiles really need to land on those Vikings. Uh-oh. Oh, as he spent too much Seeker missile energy. Polt has almost max energy. Oh my god, Morrow's been a little frivolous with that energy, and now Polt's just waltzing right on in with battle cruisers. Oh no! Oh no! Morrow just spent all the energy picking off the tanks, but those aren't even the threat. And there's the Seeker missiles all clustered up. Oh! Every single one of Morrow's Ravens gets annihilated. Morrow was focusing in the wrong location. He was trying to kite against these other Ravens, trying to make sure that he didn't end up taking too much damage, but it looks like the Seeker missile blast from Polt just erupts through that line of Ravens from Morrow. And now, with just a handful of battle cruisers, Morrow has almost nothing here to defend. The tank Marauder army is going to be able to advance up from the top side. Morrow's decided he needs to begin a counter-assault, start eliminating bases from Polt, because he's going to be losing his own 5th. Morrow is going to try to kite these battle cruisers, but his focus is just being pulled every which way. This bottom base, the left 5th, gets taken out. Mines going to try to burrow right in front of these battle cruisers. They will be able to take them out, but at what cost? Morrow sweeping along the top side. It looks like it will be somewhat of an exchange, but the real problem is that Morrow is just up against the macro beast. Polt has so many units rallied up here, and given the amount of money that Polt has in the bank, I'm not sure what Morrow can do. Hellbats just annihilate the worker line. 82 workers killed by Polt, only 32 by Morrow, 40 to 24. No one really has workers in this game, but Morrow does have those 14 mules that are giving him quite the economic income lead. Marauder find a pack of tanks unsieged. Is there any hope for these tanks to live through this? I mean, Marauders with just a little bit of spreading kill things so quickly. A single battle cruiser. Gotta be that main target for Morrow. Morrow, yet again, being pretty aggressive with his command centers, but so is Polt. Not even willing to throw down a planetary fortress as Morrow heads up to the top side. All these mules just got thrown down. This is a real devastating blow if all these fall. I mean, Polt has almost no SCVs. 15 all out on the field, down to 13, 11. 39 workers killed, still so much less than the 80 some. It's Hellbat against this composition. Tanks trying to get into range. Everything's moving up. Everything's quite clustered, but it's the 6 battlecruisers that are the real problem. Polt getting exactly what he needs. Where are the Vikings? Where are the Vikings? Morrow needs them so badly. The Hellbats have already destroyed everything, and now moving down here. Oh, that's going to be a very juicy target. Everything's starting to just run right up to the ramp. Where are Morrow's? Uh-oh. Hellbat dealing all the damages. Oh, all the Yamato cannons have picked off most of the key Ravens. This means that Morrow just doesn't really have any anti-air. He's picking off Vikings with these Seeker missiles, but right now just has no way to deal with these 6 battle cruisers. The Marine Marauders stepping up into the main. Marine Marauder have now begun to clean up, and it looks like Polt will actually maintain hold of all these expansions. Battle cruisers marching forward. There's almost nothing that Morrow can do. Polt, considered by many to be the best player in the beta right now, effortlessly seeming to roll through all of his opponents, making Morrow look no different. Morrow still trying to hold on. He's going to have to lose this base. Mules, Hellbats, tanks, all of them running. Battle cruisers cleaning it up. 7 bases in total. And the good game in a dominating performance, ladies and gentlemen, your champion of the king of the beta is Polt. Having 3-0'd Morrow. Morrow will walk away with 2nd place and $1,000. But that first place $2,000 prize absolutely goes to Polt, who played brilliantly start to finish. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to you, dear viewer, for having yourself a good time, I hope. Without any further ado, do enjoy yourself more StarCraft. Heart of the Swarm Community Launch Party action by TeamLiquid.net and Day9 TV, because let's be honest, as fun as that tournament was, the fun is about to truly begin, as Heart of the Swarm is only a few short hours from release. Or if you're watching this in a recording, it's been released already. Go have some fun. That's what I'm gonna do. Cheers!